Everybody, this is David with Second Main Phase. We are doing a Legacy Cube draft here. We've got opened a pretty interesting pack. I like a lot of the cards here. I think I'm just going to take Oracle Moldiah. It's the best sort of the most open card in the pack. Like Steam Vents is quite nice. Harbinger is decent. Imperial Recruiter goes sort of in that blue-red tempo deck. I like Nicol Bolas a lot. Even Negate is fine. Animate Dead is probably the most powerful spell, just in a nutshell, if we wanted to like go into a strategy. Maybe I'll just take that. I like the black-based control decks, like blue-black. So yeah, I'm just going to take Animate Dead here. It's a powerful card. Alright. Following that up, there's a Metamorph, which is pretty decent. It's not as good as it was in the Vintage Cube, where I thought it was very, very good. It's also an Inferno Titan. I like Inferno Titan quite a bit. It's a good reanimate target. Yeah, I'm going to take Inferno Titan out of this pack. I could also consider Sheoldred, which is like almost an Inferno Titan. I think I like Inferno Titan a little better than Sheoldred, but maybe we wield the Sheoldred. Yeah, let's take Titan here. Okay, there's a Through the Breach. Kind of like where this deck is going. I think I'm going to take the Through the Breach here. There's some dual lands that I would consider. But Through the Breach seems nice. Whip of Erebos, if we wheel it, could also be quite nice. And then we'll set up some sort of Re-animator, Through the Breach type deck. This is sweet. I haven't really drafted these kinds of decks in the cube yet. I've played the sort of green-based giant guys that either have some Animate Dead effects or a Through the Breach kind of thing in the deck, but they're also capable of casting the fatties. Whereas this deck looks like it's going to move towards something where, we're unable to just hard cast things. We have to be a little bit careful about how we sequence. But definitely like these cards. Definitely happy with these first few picks. So cards that I like to reanimate or to sneak in. Hornet Queen is up there. Definitely up there. Buried Alive is also interesting. Can I wheel the Buried Alive? Probably not. Hornet Queen is so sweet, though. There's no way we wheel either of these cards. I think I'm going to take the Buried Alive here. Just, if we get the Living Death, Buried Alive is insane. Whereas, like, Hornet Queen is nice with Through the Breach, nice with Animate Dead, but, like, maybe it is that nice. I don't know. If no one else is in Re-animator, we'll wheel the Buried Alive, and there's no way we wheel the Hornet Queen. I'm going to take the Buried Alive. As tough as that sounds, I think I'm going to take it here. Okay, what do I like out of this pack? Nothing. This pack is pretty abysmal for us. Maybe like Abrupt Decay is playable. Nightveil Spectre is whatever. Yeah, I'll just take Nightveil Spectre. Alright, Unburial Rites is nice. Would also consider, well, none of the duels here actually do much for me with what I've got so far. I'm going to take Unburial Rites. Got a sweet little Re-animator package going on. What we need now are targets, which we've already passed up on a couple good ones, so that's unfortunate, but I think we can get there. And with Buried Alive, again, we can go for like a Living Death type strategy. Living Death, probably the best card for our deck currently, aside from like Gristlebrand and some other really good reanimation targets. All right. Second creature. No, I don't want that. Well, there's straight up reanimate here. I think that's what I want. Just make sure that no one else is in the deck with us. Also, reanimate's just a good card. Like, a lot of people are playing, good curve toppers in this format, so you can reanimate or animate dead on something in another player's graveyard, and it's just very good. Okay, so now it's decision time. Could take something like a Gilt Leaf Winnower, which is just like, meh, it's just an okay card. Could take something like Wood Elves and try to get some ramp going on, which I don't mind the idea of doing that. None of the other cards are really that interesting. I think I'm just going to take the Winnower, honestly. It's not Shriekmaw, but, you know, could be good. It's got Menace. It's a removal spell. I don't know the cube quite well enough to know, like, exactly how many targets it has, but I imagine it's got a handful of decent ones. Alright, Nicol Bolas Planeswalker is probably just the pick here. I've been really impressed with this card, and even though we don't have any ramp, I think it's worth taking here. Alright. Sheoldred Wield, which is nice. Another good reanimation target. So we're looking for some more ways to discard. So I think what's going to happen here is we are going to try to play blue, and we're going to try to pick up cards like Merfolk Looter, as our, or like Jace as like another way to get things into our graveyard. None of these cards are super interesting. I think I'm just going to take Assemble the Legion on the off chance that we decide to splash it. I think it's better than Slagstorm, and it's a pretty unbeatable card. All right, sweet. Hornet Queen Wield. Definitely want Hornet Queen. Take an Abrupt Decay. All right, Nighthawk or Cemetery. I think I'd just rather have Vampire Nighthawk. It's good against the aggressive strategies. It's a fine card. It just blocks everything. All right, so definitely have the reanimation thing sort of on lock. I wouldn't mind here some more ways of putting stuff into our graveyard, and a few more just like early plays. All right, so there's some pretty decent stuff. I like Dragon Skull Summit for the deck. I like Ultimate Price for the deck. I think we'll wield the Summit is my guess. So maybe it's just easier to take Ultimate Price. Fiery Confluence is also kind of nice. Yeah. Isochron Scepter, no, I can't do Reanimate. Animate Dead's not a... Yeah, it's got to have CMC. No, 2 or less, right? Oh, no, it's a sorcery. Okay, yeah, I can't. No Isochron Scepter shenanigans here. I think I just take the Ultimate Price here. Ulamog is nice with Through the Breach, but neither of these... None of my reanimation spells hit Ulamog, so I'm just going to take Ultimate Price here. Not a great first pick out of this pack. I could take a Gargadon. Gargadon's kind of nice with Through the Breach, and it would be nice with Recurring Nightmare, actually. Yeah, let's take Gargadon. Alright, Murderous Cut's good. PN Kieran is good. Definitely don't want Bob for this deck. I think I'm just going to take Murderous Cut here. Yeah, I could also take the Wooded Foothills. Let's just take Cut. Okay. Disciple, what does Disciple do? Sacrifice another creature, you gain X life and draw X cards. Yeah. I don't think I want Aristocrat, right? Yeah, Aristocrat seems excessively bad. I'll just take Disciple here. This is a pretty disappointing pack for us, honestly, because we're not even going to wheel anything out of this pack that we want to play. I'm not too keen on Disciple. Okay. Dread Return is pretty nice, but not. I don't think it's the way we want to go. I think I'd rather just take Dreadbore here. Just like a solid removal spell, kills Planeswalkers. Yeah. Yeah, let's take Dreadbore. Theomancer is kind of nice. Factor Fiction doesn't put it into our graveyard. Oh, it does. Okay. I kind of like Factor Fiction. Yeah, let's take Factor Fiction just as another way to put in the yard. Also, Waterfront Bouncer might wheel. That's nice. So we definitely want to consider any of that fixing if we can get it. Gatekeeper is also kind of nice here. I think I'm going to take it. Green-blue land doesn't do much for us, so yeah, I'm just going to take Gatekeeper. It's possible we don't play Nicol Bolas. Alright, there's a black-white duel, which helps with Unburial Rites. There's a Dark Petition, which I don't think that we really need. We've got a lot of redundancy in this deck, and it's going to be hard for us to get Spell Mastery. And yeah, nothing else going for us, so I'm just going to take the Caves here. Caves is nice. It's just, you know, it's a way to effortlessly play the Unburial Rites splash. Definitely need to pick up some more fixing, though. Hopefully that, Badlands is here, which I think we just take. Whisperwood's also a good card, but Badlands is, we're in desperate need of something like a Badlands. Greater's Claw is also fine. Yeah. Take Ashen Rider or Dragon Skull Summit. I think I can afford to take the Summit here. Like, Ashen Rider is really nice to reanimate. It's probably just the nuts. I don't know. I think our mana is pretty bad at this point. I'm just going to take the Summit. Alright, don't want any of these cards. Take the Brushland. Definitely don't want Dark Confidant. Dark Confidant rip a Greater Gargadon. That'd be pretty awesome. I'll just cut the Mystic Snake. I don't think that there's any reasonable chance we splash green and white. Take this Temple here, I guess. Again, just allows us to Unburial Rites a little easier. Like, the white splash is not amazing, but I think the fact that it does give us access to that is kind of worth it. Temple of Mystery, Chandra Nalar. What does Chandra Nalar do? 1 damage to a player, X damage to a creature. Comes in with 6. I mean, Dread Return is just another reanimate, I guess. Seems nice. I just don't know how often we're gonna get that. I guess it's sweet with Hornet Queen, because we can just like reanimate Hornet Queen and immediately flash back and reanimate something else. Yeah, that seems worth it. So I think what we want to do here is definitely figure out in pack 3 how we're going to fix all our colors, and then also how we're going to get cards into our graveyard. That's the biggest thing right now that we're missing, is we have all these sweet reanimation targets, reanimation spells, but we're really lacking. All right, Waterfront Bouncer is nice. It's another way to get cards in our graveyard. Though we now have to figure out how to make the blue splash work. And we could be base blue-black and then splash red for like through the Breach and Dreadbore, which is reasonable. We've got a decent way of splashing red at the moment, so that is probably the direction we're going to go. We did see Underground Sea already, so that's no longer an option for us. But you know, there are other duels. The worst cards in our deck right now, I think, are Guiltleaf Winnower, Disciple of Bolas. Greater Gargadon isn't great yet, but I think it will be. Vampire Nighthawk and Night Veil Spectre and Gatekeeper are all on the chopping block as well. So basically our whole deck is awful. Well, it's an interesting pack. I think I just snap off the Damnation here. It's a pretty unique effect in our colors, and it's a very good card. I would also like Ponder. I would also like Flooded Strand. But I think Damnation is just too good to pass up. So we'll take it. Okay, I like Grave Titan quite a bit. None of these other cards do exactly what we want. I would play like Serum Visions, Makeshift Mannequin, all of those. But I think Grave Titan is just one of the better cards in the cube. Definitely need some more ways of binning some of this big stuff, but I don't mind how the deck's looking right now. Definitely there are certainly cuts to make here. my kingdom for a Lotleth troll. I don't think it's in the cube. And it's also in a color that we're not playing currently, so. Yeah, it definitely looks like we're base black. Could just be splashing red, honestly, at this point. All right, there's Living Death and a Gristlebrand, so the two cards that we desperately want for this deck. I think we just take Gristlebrand here. Like, Buried Alive is nice with Living Death. I actually don't know. It's another Wrath. But like, Gristlebrand is just the best target for us. Is it possible that Gristlebrand wheels? Probably not. I mean, Living Death is just sort of the nut, but like Gristlebrand is the best target. Man. I think we take Living Death here and just pray that Gristlebrand wheels. Like, it doesn't go into anyone else's deck, but it's pretty likely to get hate drafted. Okay. Rakdos Return's pretty nice. Gonna take it here. None of this stuff puts cards in our graveyard, so we could Rakdos Return ourselves, right? No, it's only opponents. Alright. Go for the Throat, Sidisi. Both fine. I'm just gonna take Go for the Throat here. This is really unfortunate. I don't know where all the cards that throw stuff into our graveyard are, because like, I mean, obviously the blue cards dried up, I think, but I think we still are sort of forced to play the two that we have. Entomb, hello. There it is. All right. Ask and you shall receive. Get in. All right. So we gave up on turn 1 Entomb Gristlebrand, turn 2 Reanimate Gristlebrand. So it's unfortunate, but you know, can't be perfect. I do think that Living Death is slightly better in our deck, like because we have Buried Alive, we can just like Buried Alive like both Titans and like Shieldred or something, or like Hornet Queen, and then buy them back with Living Death. Just like turn 3 Buried Alive seems pretty good for our deck. Actually, Waterfront Bouncer looks really good as well. Just being able to control the opponent's board and then set up the reanimation strategy is really nice. And as far as Gristlebrand goes, like, drawing 7 is always awesome, but I don't know like how much we have it's just, you know, going to be amazing with. So here it's between Ob Nixilis and Baleful Strix, and I think it's a pretty clear Ob. Draws us a lot of cards. I mean, Baleful Strix is nice. Planeswalkers are just so much better, I think. Yeah, it's going to take that. Bayou. We don't have any fetches, so Bayou's not good. Izzet Charm is actually pretty sweet. It is on the double splash here, and we have like no fixing, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine because you can draw 2, discard 2, which is good in this deck. So it'll be fine. I think I can cut the Gilt Leaf Winnower at this point. I don't really like Gilt Leaf Winnower too much. Gargadaddy is not looking great. Actually, well, Gilt Leaf Winnower can stand for now. Yeah, I definitely can make cuts here. Like, Night Veil Spectre doesn't need to be in the deck. Gatekeeper, one of these cards can go. Pulse, probably not going to play. I mean, we're not going to play any of these cards, so what do we care about? Maybe Harmonize. Just, like, don't want to play against an opponent that's casting Harmonize. But probably Draga Tree Speaker is just, I mean, I'm struggling to understand why this is even still in the pack. Like, I mean, green was pretty underdrafted, it looks like, but we're not going to play any of those cards, so. Kiki-Jiki, you say? Do we have any Kiki-Jiki shenanigans? We can, like, make another Hornet Queen or Grave Titan. Yeah. Kozilek. I mean, Kozilek is fine. We can through the breach Kozilek. I can't reanimate it. Can't cast Living Death or Dread Return on it. Yeah, I mean we can only through the breach it. So maybe I just take Makeshift Mannequin. Yeah. All right, Gristle Daddy wield. Sweet. Get in. Mogus and Marauder is interesting because it like can allow us to kill with Living Death or Dread Return. Could also take Disfigure. I'll just take Disfigure. All right, so far Springs coming around was really great for us. Omnath. Don't think we need Omnath, but we're not going to play Tarmogoyf either, so. All right. So I think the deck, minus the fact that our mana is terrible, I think the deck actually did kind of come together. So the question is, what do we want to do? What do we want to do here? I think Gatekeeper is a little bit too bad for the deck. I like our 2-drops a lot. Buried Alive is definitely in. Vampire Nighthawk is in. I like Factor Fiction. Disciple. Disciple is interesting. It gives us a lot of options after we've already reanimated something, but it doesn't really do anything for us in the meantime. I nabbed that Makeshift Mannequin, which allows us to get an instant speed reanimation. Let's check out our lands real quick. Got a lot of black-red fixing, and we've got these free white splashes for the Unburial Rites. So I think that's going to stay in. So yeah, we've got 26 cards right now, so some cuts to make. What is our worst reanimation spell? It's probably Unburial Rites or Makeshift Mannequin. I don't think Makeshift Mannequin is great, especially because it's only our graveyard, whereas a lot of the other ones are, other ones like Unburial Rites has flashback, Dread Return also has flashback, so those both seem pretty good for us, especially considering Dread Return with Hornet Queen is kind of sick. So I think those stay. Though it's even possible we should like cut Unburial Rites altogether. Winnower is probably a card for the cutting block. Yeah. Just seems kind of meh. But I don't know. Maybe I'll keep it. So yeah, let's say I cut I have Dread Return, Living Death, Animate Dead, and Reanimate as my reanimation spells, and Unburial Rites. I like all the reanimation targets that I have, especially because I think a lot of them are very good with Through the Breach anyway, with the exception of maybe Sholdred. Bidding upkeep at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep. Yeah, so Through the Breach is not that great with. I guess I can end step Through the Breach and get the upkeep trigger with Shieldred, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut the Unburial Rites for now. Just seems, I don't know. It just seems like maybe too much redundancy. I'm gonna cut Disciple because it seems like win more because we've sort of already at that point got something on the field. All right, so let's run with this for now, and let's go with a blue-black split. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blue sources. 13. All right, no forests. Let's see what this looks like. So I probably just cut an island here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 islands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red sources, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 black sources. Yeah. I mean, it's possible that like the blue cards just seem so necessary for us to really get anywhere. Like in that respect, our draft did not go well because like we just have no way of binning all these creatures, but I think this is fine. I'm gonna run this. I'll see you guys in round 1.